Good morning, everyone. Are you ready for a brand new event on the WRC calendar? Well, welcome to Rally Islas Canarias. The first time we see this event as part of the WRC, and it is a huge welcome to Gran Canaria. You join us for the first running of Shakedown. This is where we will get a little bit of a bird's eye view on what the island has to offer in terms of stages. We have 18 of them during the weekend, just over 300 competitive kilometers. It's blue skies, it's sunshine right now as our championship leaders get ready to head into Santa Brígida. I'm Bex Williams, alongside me is Mike Chen. It's always great to have a brand new event on the championship calendar, although this island is no stranger to rallying. Chenny, hugely passionate fans here, and this is the 49th running of this event in particular. It's been a mainstay of the European Championship. We're going to see a lot of fans out there this weekend. Yeah, absolutely, and already you can see the fans piling in just for the Shakedown stage. It's going to be very, very busy, but as you say, Bex, a mainstay of the ERC, and we've seen some unbelievable action on these roads over the last years. Brilliant to see it part of the World Rally Championship campaign. Smooth, fast flowing, lots of hairpins in sections. We're heading up into high altitude stages and right across the island this weekend. Now, Elvin and Scott were here last year to do the recce when it was run as the ERC. And we're seeing parts, certainly, of the stages that were run in ERC melded together with others. It's a kind of hybrid of stages throughout the weekend. We'll guide you through them, of course, when we get into all the action. But what a championship lead Elvin Evans has right now, Chenny, and this is his favourite surface. Could we see him extend away here?
Yeah, I mean, look, the pressure's not on him, is it? He hasn't got to go out and win this rally. Whatever happens, Bex, even if he retires, he'll still be leading the championship when we leave here, even if he gets a 0 score. So he's in a really good position. So now for Elvin, I think it's just a matter of being smart and just, like Thierry Neuville did at this time last year, just bag in the points. The one thing that you can see, obviously, the main differences in the cars is we've gone from a gravel setup to a tarmac setup, so dropped about 100 mil in ride height. Kenya, the cars were running as high as you possibly could run them in terms of ride height to protect them. Now you've gone right down, you've dropped the ride height right down. We're running back to a tarmac damper, super stiff springs, stiff roll bars. You're basically trying to turn these rally cars into a racing car and minimise, certainly in the dry, any body roll. So you can see straight away the differences in the way that the cars look. I love them when they're in tarmac setup. The thing is as well, Bex, look at whereas you're just threading the needle there. There's zero margin for error. If you make a mistake, and particularly in really high grip situations, you've got loads and loads of grip, and then bang, none of them. When you're going quite quickly, the grip just gets away from you, and the car can snatch a little bit, and you can come unstuck very, very quickly.
One thing in this Shakedown stage is there is a little bit of a mixture of tarmac towards the end section here. It is pretty bumpy. And a lot of broken tarmac. The start was nice and smooth, and we are heading through, as you can very much see, a residential area here. For the majority of the rally, we are out in the mountains. We may start in villages, end in villages, but you are cliffside, cliff face, and then a drop at the other side of you throughout the weekend. I love your, the difference in ride height, and lots of people do the dog analysis. We've gone from Great Dane down to Dachshund in terms of how close the cars are to the ground.
Right of a crest 30, left of a crest door 40, 3 right caution door 30 brakes, stick left sharp maybe of a crest deep, into 5 right sharp of a yuppie crest, caution deep, into slot 4 left 30.
It's going to be one of those rallies where you've got to be really committed. You've got to trust the car. You've got to trust that the grip is there. If you don't, then you're going to get left behind. And of course, we did see the Hankook, the soft tyre, being used in Monte Carlo. First time we've used a hard compound Hankook tyre in competition. So it's going to be interesting to see how the hard tyre stands up and where it comes into its performance window from a temperature perspective. Because like you said at the start of the stage, a lot of the time the temperatures are really, really high. You'll get a good ground temperature, but as you go up the mountains, the temperature starts to drop, the surface temperature starts to drop, and it's all about keeping tyre temp up.
Wonderful to see so many people out and about there this morning. This stage has just been lined, hasn't it, with people right the way through. But yeah, weather's going to be an interesting factor this weekend. Past few days, and certainly through Recce as Elfyn completes here, you know, we were having 4 seasons in one day. It was nice and warm, then you're into the low cloud. It's a bit damp, it's drizzly. We had some torrential rain at one point, but only for about a minute. You know, we're on an island in the Atlantic. It's going to change quite quickly. We'll get Elfyn's thoughts on everything new with Molly Pettit, who's at the stop control, in a few moments.
Gauche 161, ferme 50 de plus. 45, droite 61.
Elfyn, good morning. A brand new rally on the championship. What are your impressions so far?
Yeah, obviously it looks like a nice weekend ahead, really good stages. But obviously a challenge to learn this new tyre again. I mean, it's we've been saying it all year so far, but it's definitely still the case here.
Yeah, you mentioned it already. It is definitely going to be a factor.
You could see that Thierry had a little bit of understeer, and you'd expect that as he was going downhill through that hairpin. When he picked up the throttle, the car straight away just started to understeer. Obviously, gravity and weight were working against the front tyre as well. But we saw it in Monty, didn't we? You've got to get. It takes a little while for the tyre to come into its, to get up to temperature and come into its operating window. And straight away, we just saw the front just starting to push on a little bit. That could also be in the setup of the car slightly. And also, you need to do a bit of a heat cycle with these tyres. When you go out on a brand new set of rubber, they've still got the oils in them. So when you do a heat cycle, obviously all that comes out of it. So it just takes a little bit of time to scrub the tyre in.
I think it's going to be, you know, certainly interesting to see early in the mornings here when it is that a little bit cooler, and when we are at elevation, if there is dampness up there as well, how long it'll take the tyres to come up to temperature.
And again, at that point that you opt to run the softer compound tyre as opposed to the hard. I think when the temperatures are up, you're going to use the hard tyre. Thierry completes just a little bit down on Elfyn's effort.
Now, both Elfyn and Thierry were at the ERC event just a few weeks ago at Rally Sierra Morena to get themselves in the tarmac mode. Let's switch out to Ogier and Martin Ogier now. 2 times on the board so far then. Elfyn is fastest through Shakedown, run 1 at least at the moment. Cross out to the stop control.
A little bit of previous experience from the island from before. Do you remember any of that?
Not much, to be honest, except the great atmosphere we had here in 2010 and 2011. But yeah, first of all, it's good to be back live on TV again. So I really welcome the exchange we had with the FIA, and we're able to find a solution which suits everybody. So that's the way we need to work, constructive and going ahead. So I'm looking forward for an exciting weekend, and yeah, I don't know what will it bring, but I have a lot of hopes.
Yeah, well, it's certainly good to hear from the drivers again, absolutely. Yeah, Molly referencing the fact that Thierry's been here before. There's some drivers who have competed here before, but for Thierry, it was 15 years ago. It's a long time. And, you know, we do see some changes to the stages from then. There will be parts which are going to be familiar, but he's probably forgotten all about it by now. He's done so many events.
The technology's changed, the cars have changed, everything's massively different from way back in 2010. There's not a lot of carry across he'll be able to take him. What I do like about as we look at Sebastian Ogier,
he's
with us in the
favourite
car.
to win, by the way.
Interesting.
You know, he pops back in, you know, for the first time since Rally Monte Carlo, and he's the favourite. According to the fans out there, that's what you've been voting for.
But what I like that the organisers have done is they haven't just done a carbon copy of the ERC, because some people would have an advantage over other people. They wouldn't, you know, other people who haven't done it, those who have would come here and go, oh, I know these roads. So it's really nice, and it's a new challenge for everybody involved.
There is Ogier. Let's join him now. Tarmac with 4:17.5.
Good morning. It's a new rally. What are your impressions after the Recce?
When the roads are closed, it's fantastic. For sure, they are pure tarmac roads, very racy, but very technical and yeah, quite intense at the same time. So for sure, the Recce was
very complicated with all the traffic, but yeah, now the fun part starts.
That's a really good way of describing it. Racy, technical and intense. The perfect words to describe this event.
On va tenir sur ma droite 120 micros-délais, pour gauche 130 plus micros, attention frein, 40 mètres avant gauche, 120 moins 1000 qui vient de tenir, 20 mètres, droite 90, qui ouvre.
But yeah, these roads in sections are very, very narrow. So doing a recce, obviously, with open roads, oncoming traffic, it's really quite difficult to establish, you know, what line you're going to be taking.
Well, in particular the cuts, because if you've got cars coming up against you on the other side of the direction, you can't put the car in the road and determine whether or not you can actually take a cut. Now, this rally is very famous for not really being able to take many cuts anyway. So, but yeah, you always when you're looking for a tenth of a second all the time, you're chasing. It's so tight at the top that any performance gain you can get. So in the recce, yeah, when you've got cars coming in the opposite direction, you can't always be 100% sure whether or not you can tuck a wheel in somewhere. So yeah, makes it very, very difficult. But it's the same for everybody at the end of the day, Bex.
Yeah.
And the good thing as well about there not being a great deal of cuts is if it does rain and Elfyn is first into the road, he's not therefore pulling loads of muck out for everybody else. Of course, it's a disadvantage for Elfyn, but it's an advantage for everybody else. So it keeps it a slightly more level playing field.
As Ogier completes them with the second fastest time, we switch out to Adrien Formeau.
See the way it picked a wheel on the way in.
What have you discovered about this island so far?
Yeah, good morning. I think it's great to be back. That's true. I'm happy to be here on such a beautiful roads. First time for me in Canary Islands, and I have to say, road perfect for rallying. A lot of corners. It's going to be demanding. Pace note was not that easy to take during recce with a lot of traffic, but yeah, looking forward to it.
We saw obviously Adrien going through that hairpin, a nice wide open hairpin, but some of the hairpins here are
super tight.
brutal. They're so tight.
And we always say it when we go to Monte Carlo, you can lose so much time by getting it wrong into a hairpin, particularly when you're going uphill, because a very tight uphill hairpin, the risks of stalling go up massively. And so yeah, I mean the hairpins is a major part of this rally, isn't it? Just coming back to what I was saying when we saw Adrien at the start, how stiff the cars are now. So you saw as he grabbed the handbrake, yes, the car it just stuck its nose all the way on that front left, and the natural camber of the road just picked the rear right up. And you'll see a lot of that this weekend. You'll just see it picking a wheel. Like I said, at the moment these cars are in full race car spec. They look mega as well.
They do look great. I wonder how much he feels he has an advantage. He's won this event previously in 2020. So he knows the nature of the stages here, but you know, as you said, stages have changed a bit in terms of the way they're running, but he has an understanding of what the roads do here, especially if a bit of weather does come in as well. Does he feel it's an advantage or not? We'll find out during the weekend. But that is Formeau through, and it is a 4:18.4. Fourth fastest time on run one of Shakedown. Welcome everyone to Rally Islas Canarias. It is a brand new event on the WRC calendar. And we're all very excited to see how it all goes out there this weekend on these fantastic tarmac stages.
Adrien, good morning. You're a previous winner of this event, so tell us what's it going to take to win this weekend?
Well, it's a really big challenge in here. It's a wheelie them on stages. It's corner into corner. We have to manage the tires. I think it's going to be the big topic this weekend. But I'm really pleased to be back in Canarias. That I won the rally in 2020, but it was full rain all the time. So I think it's going to be a different story.
And that's the beauty of it, you know. Back then, yeah, it was full rain for him, so he understands what the roads do when they do become wet out there. We're hearing that there may not be a lot of rain around this weekend, but
the thing is,
changes quickly.
When you go up into the mountains, it can drop over like 400 metres and then stop. So you've just got to be aware. But I do think, yeah, you're right, that all the meteorologists are saying that we're not going to see. I hope we don't. To be honest, Bex, I hope we get a completely dry rally, because these roads are so good, aren't they? And Yeah, I think the hard tyre will be used quite a lot throughout the weekend. I've got to say as well, it's brilliant to hear from the drivers at the end of the stages again, and they're all doing it with a smile on their face. They're happy to be talking as well, and I'm glad that situation has been resolved and sorted out, because it was something in Kenya that they found very difficult themselves as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they want to tell the stories, we want to hear them, and we are now, and that's a good thing.
Crikey,
hello, Rovanpera.
look
Good morning, Calais. 4:13.1 fastest time through on run 1.
That's phenomenal. I'd love to know where's that come from? Is he running different rubber? I don't know, but that's a hell of a time from Calais Rovanpera, isn't it?
Fantastic start to the morning.
Good morning, a brand new rally. How do you feel being back on tarmac?
It's nice. It has been actually quite a long time for us to be on a proper tarmac rally, but I think for everybody to be on this kind of nice tarmac rally, which is going to be mostly about driving. So yeah, it's nice to be here. It's going to be really difficult weekend with new notes and new stages. It's not going to be easy, but of course we try to enjoy and try our best.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of work for the co-drivers. Anytime I've seen any co-driver this weekend, be it at lunch or whatever, they've just been constantly writing, tidying up the notes, getting everything ready. It's a lot of work when it comes to a brand new rally for the drivers to make the notes, and the co-drivers are sometimes rewriting it here. Maybe they haven't on some occasion, maybe they have. It all depends on the co-driver, I guess. When we're looking at Toyota now, we're looking at Takamoto Katsuta Chenny. There's a wealth of experience in the Toyota team in terms of this event. Juho Kankinen has been here 6 times previously. Juho Hänninen, who's going to be gravel crew this weekend, has won the rally as part of the ERC.
Yeah, but they're not in the seat of the car.
They're not, but there's knowledge, isn't there? You know, when everything helps, even the smallest detail.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, particularly with weather and stuff like that. I think there's so many variables though, Bex, particularly with the tyre. You know, it's the first time we've run this harder compound Hankook tyre, the hard compound Hankook tyre. So there's so many different variables. I think ultimately it'll come to the two lads who are sat in the seat of the car to determine the outcome of the rally, really. But you're right, all of that experience does help for sure.
It does pay off.
And I think as well, you know, we've got to keep an eye on for Elvin. He's first into the stages in the morning. If the temperatures are down, particularly the first couple of stages in the morning, right? If the temperatures are down, he's at a disadvantage because the surface temperature's not up. He's running the hard compound. That could work against him. As more and more cars go through, more rubber will go down, the grip levels will come up.
Taka, good morning. What do you make of Rally Islas Canarias so far after the recce?
そうですね、まあもういいステージなんですけど、やっぱペースノート作るの難しくて簡単じゃなかったんで、まあいいペースでこのラリーをいいリザルト持ち帰れるように頑張ります。Yeah, I just try to do my best.
Okay.
But yeah, coming back to it, what I was saying, Bex, is, you know, as you get more and more cars going through the stage, more rubber goes down. The same as exactly the same as it is on a racetrack. And when more rubber goes down, the surface, they call it rubbering in, and the grip levels come up. So potentially for Elvin, there is a little bit of a disadvantage.
Continuing on with the Toyotas, then we're on board now with Sami Pyri. See how this time is going to stack up then against the rest. So second fastest through for Sami, 4:17.1. So we've got Rovanpera, Pyri, Evans, Ogier, Tarmac, Katsuta, Formeau and Neuville in that order through the stage.
Our good friend Ivan Brynildsen's just texted me saying, that's a hell of a time from Calais. But he's right.
It is.
4 seconds.
It's a huge
That's massive.
time.
Over 4, that's a kilometre, second a kilometre, Bexy. That's...
Well, he's laying down the intent for the weekend, isn't he? Certainly.
Yeah. that's properly quick. Calais on it. Let's hear from Sammy.
Sammy, good morning. Tell us about the challenge of a brand new event.
It's nice always. I personally like to do new events, to do new pace notes, and it needs always a bit of let's say creativity to make the pace note and go for the first time on some brand new stages. So personally I like it, and especially Tarmac rally like this, it's really clean. Shouldn't be so much cutting, which is quite rare nowadays to have a clean Tarmac rally. So especially with a car like this, I hope it's going to be really unbelievable.
You can really tell how much he's looking forward to it. It's got a passionate there from Sammy Pyrie as we join Gregoire Munster now. He's a driver that's been here twice before, Chennies. He's got experience of the island, certainly. But the biggest talking point around Gregoire Munster this weekend so far seems to be something a little bit different other than the car.
What are you referring to, Bexy?
Well, I'm referring to what's under his helmet.
Oh, that he dyes his hair?
Apparently so.
No, that's fact.
We're unsure of the technical details, whether it's foils or a balayage. He's not revealing those.
Yeah, no, he loves...
He's keeping that secret close to his chest.
He's just gone for that mousy colour.
His hair's a big talking point so far this weekend.
He's just covering up those greys, isn't he? A steady run through for Gregoire Munster. 12.5 seconds down on Calais.
We'll get his opinion on the event. Like I said, he has been here previously, so certainly experience of the island itself, what these stages can offer in dry and wet conditions.
The Puma looks so good in Tarmac, guys. Just looks, it's my favourite of them all. They all look mega, but the Puma just looks wicked. It's a bit too much rotation from Josh there.
Greg, good morning. You have some previous experience from this rally. Can you use any of that now?
I did it in 2020. They almost didn't use any roads from back then, but for sure having an idea of how the grip can be and what the weather condition can be up in the mountain is important. So yeah, we'll take that, but track knowledge there is not much.
What is going to be particularly challenging?
Yeah, here I don't have much grip, so I'm struggling a bit, while normally you have a lot of grip. So yeah, we need to make the tire work, and we're gonna try and improve on that.
See the way he put his hat on really quickly, Bex. Just cover up any greys that you might have missed with the hair dye. This is going to be a massive challenge for Josh McAleen this weekend, but the advantage, he's done so much rallying at home on Ireland, in Ireland rather, and he's used to these kind of fast-flowing roads. In Ireland, there's a little bit more, you get a bit more bumps and undulations in the road, don't you? But the thing is, the pace and the intensity is going to be so high. You've got to be flat out all the time, and if you're not, you will get dropped. So it's going to be, again, another big learning curve for Josh McAleen. Goes 1.5 seconds quicker than his teammate Gregoire Munster.
Still Kalle Rovanpera with the fastest time on run 1 of Shakedown, 4:13.1.
Yeah, no one, well, that's going to be the quickest. We're now into WRC 2. I'd be surprised if we see that beaten. You see the difference in speed, entry speed between the Rally 1 car and WRC 2. We'll come back to that.
In Tarmac spec. What's it like to drive?
Yeah, it's pretty mean looking. Going out on surface this morning, myself and Greg were just talking about how cool it looks. But it's been okay. Hopefully we can try a few things in the Shakedown now, because the test, okay, was good in Spain, but you come to this country and it's always different, or this island. So we're looking forward to a big weekend ahead. A lot of miles, a lot of corners, and a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really like. It's a really good way of comparing the Rally 1 car and a WRC 2 spec car. When you've got just a short burst into a heavy braking zone, in this case a hairpin, you can see the differences in the car straight away. All the Rally 1 cars picking a wheel, picking that rear inside wheel. You saw Oliver was the approach speed was nowhere near as quick, because obviously it's not as quick off the line, doesn't pounce off the line quite as well, and the way that the chassis flexes, the way the car moves. you know, Oliver just not carrying as much speed into the hairpin.
Now, Oliver isn't scoring points in the WRC2 Championship here. He's not nominated this event as a point-scoring one. But I tell you what, the array of Rally 2, WRC2 drivers that do have scoring points this weekend, it's incredible. And it's going to be a tough ask when you've got the likes of Alejandro Cachon, who is Spanish champion from last year, and he did this event last year, and if he'd had a couple more kilometres, he would have been really challenging for the win. He was on the podium last year, and he is going to be the one to really look at.
Yeah, we know the Yaris is good as well. He's obviously competing in a Toyota Yaris. Hopefully we'll see him before we go off air, but you know how good the Yaris is on tarmac as well, as is this man in the Citroen. And he'll be looking to score massive points this weekend. Needs them for his championship campaign.
Rally, what's the plan for the weekend?
Yeah, it's fantastic to be on such a beautiful island, you know, a proper tarmac rally. I mean, I've never done a proper tarmac rally before, so it's cool for me, and I don't do a lot of tarmac every year, so it's very good for me to get experience and keep learning and keep getting better, you know, so that's the main goal.
And there's the kind of the reason why he's not elected it as a point-scoring round. But this man has. He's second in the championship in WRC2. The win, obviously, in Monte Carlo for Johan Rossel. He is definitely going to be one to watch this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. He's a real tarmac specialist, isn't he? And a lot of drivers, you know, it's difficult sometimes. You can't to go testing on tarmac, isn't it? You know, when you're racing, you can go to a circuit and spend all day just going and doing laps. And something that Craig Breen and a lot of Craig Breen is rally driver, and a lot of circuit racing drivers do is go karting. They go and jump in a kart because it teaches you to be so smooth. You know, a lot of the time you don't want to see the hands moving. And Craig used to spend an awful lot of time sat in a kart testing and was able to make that translation from the kart into the kart on tarmac. And he said it was a massive advantage, as do a lot of GT drivers and that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of the rally boys as well will be going, particularly tarmac specialists, will have come from a karting background, understand how to carry speed. You've just got to be super smooth on tarmac.
Yeah, it is a 4:24.1 then for Johan Rossel. Let's see how the others shape up and get his opinion on the first time for the WRC here in the Canaries. Also good to see brother Leo here.
That's going to get confusing, isn't it? They look exactly the same. The back of the car's a bit different.
Johan, good morning, and it's been a while since we've seen you. How does it feel to be back?
I feel so good. The holiday was so long, but now it's time to rally, and yeah, just happy to be come back in Canarias. In a few years, I passed a very good weekend with a little car, and now with the strong car, I think it will be better.
You know, Leo Rossel, who we're on board with now, had a spectacular rally Monte Carlo. He was third overall. To see both Rossel brothers on the podium together, that was really emotional at the end.
Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it? Great pictures coming in from Monty. They'll have their work cut out this weekend to do the same thing. This is I think these roads are going to really suit Johan. He's just got that little bit more experience, hasn't he, than Leo, but he really did surprise us in Monte Carlo.
Yeah, it was an incredible performance by him there. Could he pull out all the stops here? As I said, WRC2 across the board with the amount of drivers and the level of drivers that we have in WRC2 this weekend, it's going to be fascinating. One of the drivers who's competing in WRC2, who we probably won't see here at this point, but we'll see during the weekend, is Luis Monzon, who is a Canarian champion, Spanish champion. He's done this event 34 times.
Wow.
And actually Santa Brigida, where we are right now, is his hometown. So I'm expecting a good run on Shakedown from Lewis. That is Leo Rossel through, though, just 0.6 of a second off his brother's time.
If anyone's playing the shot game, this weekend. Each time that Bex and I get Leo and Johan mixed up, there's going to be a few hangovers, I suspect. Jan Černý opting to take the racing line there,
Leo,
not go for the handbrake.
Good to see you back in the championship. What is your impression of this rally so far?
Wow, this is my first start after Johan. It's just funny. Lot of football, lot of fun. Wow, amazing road. And I am very happy to be here. And now just impatient for the start.
Yeah, I think every driver is. So tonight we will have a ceremonial start, which we will be covering live. And then everything gets underway tomorrow with the longest stage of the rally, the first proper competitive stage on the island.
I think in the Rally 1 cars, as you come into that hairpin, you've got the speed, you've got the grunt, you're going for the handbrake. It's really interesting to see Jan driving that. He's the only person we have seen who's driven it, who's pulled right over to the left, taking the racing line, didn't touch the handbrake. For me, that looked quicker. We haven't got splits in this stage, but if we did, I'd have been really interested to know the speed differential between Jan Černý from off the start line to the, into turn 2, if you like.
Yeah, was handbrake better, or was taking that racing line and just driving it
I think in WRC2, driving it is quicker. It looked it. But the rest of the stage, you can see he's really down on everybody else. Love the old school balaclava from Jan Huslek. His co-driver. It's Formula 1 from the 80s. Spec.
It really is, isn't it? Yeah, I got quite a little bit of a shock when I saw it, but yeah, cool. We're going to head out and we'll have a couple of words. Molly Pettit is interviewing all the drivers for us at the stop control. Roberta Daprà next up.
Good morning, you're smiling. Why is that?
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. You know, it's like my home rally, and I'm so happy to be here. And, you know, when you see the amounts of spectators in there, it's like crazy, and I'm really enjoying it.
What's the plan for the weekend?
Push.
Win? Come on.
Let's see.
He's right, it is like his home event here, you know, he's got the backing of the Canaries, and it does feel like home for him. It's going to be really hard to get a win for any of the WRC2 drivers out there this weekend, because you've got the Spanish consortium coming in who have done this numerous times.
That's a great shot. The heat inside that damper now will just be through the roof, and they're not working particularly hard on this stage, and you can imagine what those dampers were doing. Obviously the gravel damper, we're running a tarmac, but the gravel damper, what that was doing in Kenya, up and down constantly. It's nice.
It would be good to have a look at that shot when we're coming towards the end of the longest stage tomorrow morning.
Destra 4, 40, ritardo a sinistra, doppio gira, 100 su fine. Vai.
Almost at the red boards, just round the corner here.
You saw Roberto was just one gear lower than everybody else through there as well, and he'd made that decision right at the last minute. He'd already turned in and dropped the gear. He probably could have left it one up, but again, that's what Shakedown's all about, isn't it? You're just learning, and you can use the torque of the engine. And this young man's just going from strength to strength, isn't he, Bexy?
Yeah, he really is. He's been impressive in the past few years. And again, is part of a mega lineup in WRC2 for this round.
Now, any other road car, those front discs would be on fire now. They'd be pluming smoke out. But because we have the brake ducts at the front, it's just constantly blowing cold air into them, the front brakes are kept nice and cool.
Good morning. It's a very big and competitive field in WRC2 this weekend. What can we expect?
I don't know. I will try to do my best, of course. This is not an easy moment for me, but I will try to do my best at the same, and I want to do something better than Monte Carlo, and I will try to do my best. Thank you.
Loving the fans out there this morning. There certainly have been plenty on cue as well, boys. Well done, well done.
We always know when somebody's gone, now, because they all suddenly react.
So run one of Shakedown then, complete for us at least. Kalle Rovanpera with the fastest time through on that first run. They will be doing multiple runs here. Sami Paya, he was 4 seconds off his pace, same as Elvin Evans. Then Ogier, Tarmac, Katsuta, Formeau, Neuville and Macalean. Johan Rossel was the fastest through in terms of the WRC2, with Oliver Solberg just behind that. Now, it is a remote shakedown service for the drivers. It's not far away from the stage itself. Let's cross out there now and join Kiri Bloor.
A very good morning to you for Rally Islas Canarias, our 4th round of the World Rally Championship. Shakedown, as you've just seen, has already got well underway. A few more runs for the rest of the crews, and of course WRC2 as well. But we are here at the remote shakedown where all of the activity is going on. The whole weekend is coming your way. It's action-packed and it's fast pace. All right, let's have a look at what's coming up today, Thursday, here at Rally Islas Canarias. We'll see just the opening ceremony. There's no stages today. Then for Friday, we've got a full set of stages, and it's the longest stage to start us off as well. You'll see your times on your screens as well of all of the stages as they come thick and fast. Then we've got Saturday, a very busy day. It's our longest day in terms of kilometers on Saturday, and then Sunday we will finish up at the Wolf Power stage. We'll remain live with you for just a little bit longer, showing you the pictures here up in remote service. We've got Tarmac, Adrian Formeau just behind me in the Hyundais, and of course Thierry Neuville as well. Thierry Neuville, one of the fewer drivers that's actually been here before. There is limited knowledge of this place, and also limited knowledge, we were just hearing from Thierry a moment ago, about the tyres. This weekend is going to be very interesting all round, and it is our first tarmac event of the season. So it is going to roll thick and fast all weekend. Make sure you join us for all of the action as it comes up this weekend. See you very shortly.